Welcome back. The organisation Undoing Tax Abuse, that's OUTA, has welcomed the decision to extend the grace period for expired driver's licences to the 15th of April. Motorists initially had until yesterday, in fact, to sort out their affairs. Let's get you some more analysis on that announcement. We're joined now by OUTA's Chief Legal Officer, Stephanie Fick. Stephanie, it's great to talk to you once again. I mean, I understand that we're all welcoming this extension, but 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think I think it's good that the minister actually listened, because he was very adamant that he's not going to extend this expiry date. And I also, if you look at the government notice, it's all expired driver's license, not just the ones that expire during COVID. So it is good news. I think one can celebrate even the little victories in life, because that's good. But is 15 days enough? I doubt it. So I think what one needs to do now is, again, come back to the drawing board. The department should listen to civil society, should listen to the ideas out there, private sector, etc., because you know what? We want to help. It is easy to criticize. The system, unfortunately, lends itself to criticism, because people do struggle with the backlog and the systemic problems that there are. So the sooner we start fixing this, I think, and getting a system that's in the best interest of all motorists, the better. But 15 days surely is not going to be enough to get behind the backlog and making sure that each and every motorist has got a driver's license card that is valid. So
let's talk about long-term fixes to the system, because we're hearing horrific stories, to put it mildly, of people taking time off from work, people trying to travel during their lunch hours. Of course, we know that's impossible to sort out your driver's license application in your lunch time. People traveling via public transport because they don't have any other form of transportation, etc., etc. Bottom line is, do we have to go into a driver's license testing centre to apply for a driver's license? I mean, at the moment we do, but surely in the long term the aim is that we can apply online.
Yes. So these are the type of legislative reforms that we also need to look at. We are of the view you can book online, although that also appears to be the problem, because people struggle to get bookings. But fortunately or unfortunately, you still need to go into a centre, and I think it's largely boiled down to checking your fingerprints and checking that you are who you say you are. That doesn't mean we can't fix it, but one of the sort of fixes that we really firmly believe will alleviate this problem, and there are two problems. It's these timelines and backlogs, COVID-19, the machine that was not working, and then the systemic problems. But just to sort of alleviate the stress that motorists are feeling currently, is to say, but let's move this expiry of your driver's license from 5 years, driver's license card from 5 years to 10 years. It will alleviate everything immediately, but we have to also look at the systemic problems. I mean, this is just an example, is that, people will go online, it will open, the dates will open, and by the time that you get there, there's none. So what are the problems? And how can we fix the service delivery in all these centres? You know what? The centres are apparently open until, 9 o'clock at night, but if you can't get a booking, you can't go. So to answer your original question, unfortunately, because I think it is to just check that you are still the person that you say you are, you need to do it at the centre.
No, sure. The other question in terms of the 5 to 10 year increase is, as we get older, perhaps we can't have a driver's license that's valid for a full 10 years. How do we get around that issue?
Remember, when you renew your driver's license card, your license you have for life. Unless a court takes it away from you, you have it for life. The only thing that gets renewed is your card. They don't test whether you can still drive. They just test whether you can still see, and it depends on where you sit. I still, we still believe that if you really think about it, who will get behind a wheel of a car that can't see? So I think the normal run-of-the-mill law-abiding citizen will, in any case, before he has to drive and can't see, will won't be able to look on a computer. So will have his eyes tested. It is the irresponsible motorist that is driving too fast, that is driving drunk, that's going to drive blind and not see where he's going, that is a problem. And then you need policing. Then you need visible policing and more traffic officials in order to get those guys and girls behind bars.
Yeah.
So in other words, then law enforcement becomes very important.
So Stephanie, as I'm speaking to you now, do you have a number for the backlog for license renewals?
If the number are elusive, but the closest we can get is around 1.2 million.
Are you saying 1.2 million people need to renew their driver's license cards?
1.2 million cards are outstanding. That was the latest figures given to us, given to everybody by the department. So that's why the numbers are, no one wants to say how many driver's license cards has expired and still, people need to renew, because you must remember, today, people's cards expires. Tomorrow, the day after. So it is continuous.
Right,
this number can never be stagnant. It's going to increase, and that's that's the reality of backlogs. Is that despite the backlog, you still have what is coming to you. And what is worrying is that 7,000 odd cards were printed in a month, and they were before this deadline. They're gonna all of a sudden be able to print, the amount that is outstanding. So just from the department, I think they realize that they won't be able to handle everything.
Yeah. So the number, just in terms of outstanding driver's license renewals, of course, that is a moving target. Stephanie Fick, as always, thanks very much for coming on. She speaks on behalf of the organization Undoing Tax Abuse. So you've got that 2-week extension now to go and renew your driver's license card.